Welcome to our educational journey through the exquisite and complex world of Pinot Noir. This grape variety, known for its delicate and sometimes fickle nature, is a fan favorite of connoisseurs worldwide. Join us as we explore the history, cultivation, and unique characteristics of Pinot Noir and discover why this varietal continues to be a cornerstone in the world of fine wine. Welcome to Wine Basics by Phil of Pinot, where we create wine education videos for beginners and wine lovers. History. Pinot Noir is one of the oldest grape varieties to be cultivated for making wine and has a history stretching over 1,000 years. Its origins can be traced to the Burgundy region of France, where it's been grown since the Roman times, but it was during the Middle Ages that Pinot Noir began to gain prominence. The monks of Burgundy were among the first to recognize the grape's potential for producing high-quality wine. They meticulously documented the unique environmental conditions and laid the groundwork for the concept of terroir that is so essential to winemaking today. The name Pinot Noir is believed to be derived from the French words for pine and black, referring to the grape's tightly clustered pine cone-shaped bunches of dark blue fruit. The grape's delicate nature, susceptibility to disease, and the influence of terroir make it a notoriously challenging varietal to nurture. Family tree. Pinot Noir is considered a key founder grape variety, giving rise to several other varieties either through mutation or as a parent in natural crossings. Pinot Noir has also contributed to other variants within the Pinot family, such as Pinot Gris and Pinot Blanc, through mutations. These mutations result in grapes with different skin colors, but with the genetic makeup similar to Pinot Noir, single varietal or blended. Pinot Noir is most renowned as a single varietal wine, particularly in its homeland of Burgundy, where it is used to produce some of the world's most esteemed and pure expressions of this grape. The focus on single varietal bottlings allows the subtle nuances, delicate flavors, and the influence of the terroir to shine through. However, Pinot Noir is also used in blends, most notably in the production of champagne and other sparkling wines. In these instances, Pinot Noir is blended with Chardonnay and Pinot Meunier to add body, structure, depth, and aromatics to the sparkling wines. Outside of sparkling wines, Pinot Noir is primarily produced as a single varietal wine. Blending still Pinot Noir is very rare and likely experimental. Color. Pinot Noir is typically characterized by its lighter shade of red, which can range from a pale, translucent ruby to a deeper garnet. The relatively thin skin of the Pinot Noir grape and lower levels of pigment contribute to the wine's lighter color profile. Young Pinot Noir wines often exhibit bright, vibrant red hues. As Pinot Noir ages, the color can evolve, taking on a more brick or orange tinges at the edges, which is a natural progression for red wines as they mature. Cooler climate Pinot Noirs are typically lighter in color, and in contrast, a deeper color from warmer climates. Sweetness profile. Pinot Noir is predominantly made in a dry style, meaning that it has little to no residual sugar after fermentation. The perception of sweetness in Pinot Noir is not due to the sugar content, but rather to the red ripe fruit flavors such as cherries, strawberries, and raspberries. Acid profile. Pinot Noir is known for its relatively high acidity, a defining characteristic of the varietal. The acidity also helps preserve the wine, allowing Pinot Noir to develop complexity and depth over time in the bottle. Tannin structure. Pinot Noir is typically characterized by its relatively low tannin structure, which gives the wine's signature velvety mouthfeel. The grape's thin skin and low levels of phenolic compounds result in wines that are less astringent. Alcohol. Generally, Pinot Noir tends to have moderate alcohol levels, typically ranging from about 12% to 14.5% alcohol by volume. In cooler wine growing regions such as Burgundy, Oregon, Germany, and parts of New Zealand, Pinot Noir grapes tend to ripen slower with lower sugar levels. This leads to wines with lower alcohol levels, closer to 12% to 13.5% range. In warmer regions, such as certain areas of California, Australia, and South Africa, Pinot Noir grapes can achieve higher sugar levels, resulting in wines with slightly higher alcohol content, potentially reaching up to 14.5%. Body. The body of Pinot Noir wine is typically described as light to medium, making it one of the more delicate red wines. Pinot Noir's lighter body is a result of its thin skins, moderate alcohol levels, and higher acidity. Also, oak aging can impart structure and complexity to the wine, potentially giving it a slightly fuller body. Winemaking. Winemaking techniques for Pinot Noir are often tailored to preserve the grape's delicate flavors, such as a winemaker's decision to hand harvest. Many winemakers employ cold soaking, a pre-fermentation maceration for Pinot Noir, where the crushed grapes are chilled and allowed to sit before fermentation begins. This technique helps in extracting color and flavor from the skins without the extraction of tannins that occurs during alcoholic fermentation. Pinot Noir usually undergoes malolactic fermentation, a process where tart malic acid is converted to softer lactic acid. This softens the wine, creating a smoother mouthfeel. Pinot Noir is often aged in oak barrels, though the choice of using new barrels versus used barrels and the duration of aging can vary widely. The goal is usually to add subtle oak nuances without overpowering the wine's natural fruit characteristics. Styles. Pinot Noir is a remarkably versatile grape that can be transformed into several distinct styles of wine, and the most well-known being still red wine. Still Pinot Noir is celebrated for its delicate nature and aromatic complexity. Pinot Noir is also used to produce rosé wines, which are typically light and refreshing. In the production of champagne and other sparkling wines, Pinot Noir is often used to make Blanc de Noir, which translates to white from blacks. This style refers to the white wines made from red grapes, where the juice is pressed gently and separated from the skins early to avoid extracting color. Aromas and flavors. Generally, Pinot Noir expresses a core profile of red fruit, earthy undertones, floral bouquet, and herbaceous aromas. Primary aromas and flavors found in Pinot Noir include cherries, raspberries, strawberries, and cranberries, especially from cooler climates. In riper, warmer regions, Pinot Noir can also exhibit darker fruit flavors like black cherries, plums, and even hints of blueberries. Floral notes, such as violet and rose, can add a perfumed layer to Pinot Noir's aroma profile. When aged in oak barrels, Pinot Noir can acquire notes of vanilla, toast, smoke, and spice. If the winemaker chooses whole cluster fermentation, which is the pressing of entire bunches of grapes including stems, this can add a dimension of spice and herbal complexity as well as vegetal characteristics. Some Pinot Noirs from Burgundy or other terroir-driven regions can express a sense of the soil in which the grapes were grown, such as limestone, clay, or chalk. Ageability. Can Pinot Noir age? Under the right conditions, it certainly can. At a recent tasting in 2023, a well-known red Burgundy collector opened up a 1959 Domaine de la Romanée-Conti and described it as exquisite and perfect. That's 64 years of aging, but it's not suggested to age all Pinot Noir this long. The aging potential of Pinot Noir can vary widely, with some bottles best enjoyed within a few years of release, while others can mature and develop complexity over decades. Also, vintage matters. The conditions of a particular growing season can greatly influence a wine's ability to age, especially those years with optimal growing conditions. So what can you expect from an aged Pinot Noir? Over time, the primary fruit flavors of cherries, strawberries, and raspberries can evolve into more complex tertiary notes of dried fruit, leather, tobacco, and forest floor. Its color may fade, and the wine can gain in complexity, offering a more nuanced sensory experience. Popular regions. It's important to note that Pinot Noir is one of the most common grape varieties in the world, so this video won't be able to cover them all. However, Pinot Noir thrives in cooler regions around the world, most notably Burgundy, France, the heartland of the grape. Here, Pinot Noir achieves the most profound and ageable expressions from the Côte d'Or, which includes the Côte de Nuit and Côte de Beaune. Staying in France, a prominent region for Pinot Noir is Champagne, which uses Pinot Noir as one of the primary grapes in its world-famous bubbles. In Champagne blends, Pinot Noir adds body, structure, and depth to the sparkling wines. In the United States, Oregon's Willamette Valley has gained international acclaim for its Pinot Noirs, often drawing comparisons to the elegant styles of Burgundy. In Sonoma, California, areas like Russian River Valley, Sonoma Coast, and Carneros are celebrated for producing Pinot Noirs that are influenced by the cooling fog from the Pacific Ocean. The southernmost wine region in the world, Central Otago in New Zealand, has earned a reputation for its flavorful Pinot Noirs with vibrant acidity, thanks to its dramatic temperature shifts from day and night. Germany also produces notable Pinot Noir, locally known as Spätburgunder, particularly in the Baden region. These wines are gaining recognition for their elegance and subtlety. The cooler parts of Australia, like the Yarra Valley, produce Pinot Noirs that are aromatic, with a fine balance of fruit and acidity, showcasing the potential of cooler Australian terroirs. These popular regions represent just a snapshot of the diverse landscapes where Pinot Noir excels. Food pairings. Pinot Noir is arguably the most versatile food-friendly wine grape thanks to its balanced acidity and moderate tannins. The wine's light to medium body and red fruit flavors complement the delicate flavors of roasted chicken and turkey. A classic pairing for Pinot Noir is with duck breast served with cherry or berry sauce, which echoes the wine's fruit notes. Pinot Noir's subtle, earthy notes and acidity make it a perfect match for pork dishes, whether it's a simple roast pork loin or pork tenderloin with a mushroom sauce. The wine's earthy undertones pair beautifully with dishes centered around mushrooms and lentils. Grilled vegetables, especially when seasoned with herbs like thyme and rosemary, also complement the wine's profile. Not to be missed, Pinot Noir is one of the few red wines that pair well with salmon and other fatty fish due to its higher acidity and lower tannin level. The gamey profile of birds like quail and pheasant is balanced by Pinot Noir's fruit-forward character and earthy notes, making it a sophisticated wine pairing. And let's not forget cheese. Pinot Noir can be paired with a variety of cheeses, from creamy brie to more pungent options like washed rind cheeses. The wine's acidity cuts through the fat, while the fruitiness complements the cheese's richness. And lastly, truffle-infused dishes and mushroom risotto can highlight Pinot Noir's inherently earthy and herbal characteristics. And that's your beginner's guide to Pinot Noir. Comment below your favorite Pinot Noir producer so we can go out and try to find it.